just great, and they organize it. Then we have another club called Epsilon Nu Tau that the students, totally very entrepreneurial, about 4 or 5 years ago, came to me, bugged me till I would join this club, came out of University of Dayton, and it's basically, as they've described it to me, the first professional co-ed entrepreneurship fraternity. And there's about 6 or 7 schools in it. They didn't want to be, we had been part of a larger organization, CEO, if some of you may belong to that, a big national organization, student club. But I think they liked it because they were so entrepreneurial and took ownership of it. And basically, I never see the ENT kids, and they're from all disciplines, nursing everywhere. They've just kind of pushed out on their own, which is very exciting. They're always welcome to come to the more traditional, having startup CEOs come and speak at the other club. And then this year, they had to put on a national convention. So we had about 80 students come, and I think they were floundering. And I was going to pull the plug and say no conference. So what they did was so great. They called in the young alums who had started the club, who weren't going to let this happen. And so but you have this great dynamic of these students who graduated, were out working, some were entrepreneurs for 2 or 3 years, came and organized the whole thing. And then what was really exciting, they had a speaker from Newark. So they invited in about 15 entrepreneurship students from inner city Newark to come to the conference as well. So to do a social component, which is big at our university. And we did nothing. And the dean and I went and spoke, and they gave us little gifts like you give at conference. It was just great. And we were so proud of them. So if you let them do it, they can do a great job. And I think that it just goes to show that if you let your students have ownership of anything, they will really come through. And I think that's the challenge with entrepreneurial education, because you're in an institution, do you let them do a startup in a class, or are you teaching them more accounting, management skills in that particular class? Where do you let them have the ownership? But I think the empoweringness of that is very powerful, and is part of the magic and excitement of what we do.